It's day 21 of designing an Animal Crossing island in just 30 days using only DIYs. Yesterday we bought some turnips, and then we continued our upsetting trend of unfinished builds on the island. Essentially, we've started designing around the museum. But this build was important because it led us to a clue on what we can do with our next build.
It's the 30-day DIY island.
I checked this earlier today, and now I'm starting to get a little nervous about what's in store for me with turnip prices now. Oh, okay, it's 112. Now, because we don't know what our previous pattern was, I had to put that I don't know, but I know that we paid 105 on Sunday. This morning it was 101, and now we're up to 112. Turnip Profit seems to think we have an 88.4% chance of a fluctuating pattern, the alternative being a small spike. So, given that we've already made money, and it's a very high likelihood we're on a fluctuating pattern, which was what we got last time, I think it's best if we just get rid of our turnips now. We'll make a tiny, tiny profit. Yeah, I think it's best to just kind of avoid the embarrassment. Plus, checking turnips every day is kind of exhausting. I don't enjoy doing it. So this will be good. We'll make a tiny bit of money. We'll make sure that we secure ourselves with this price, and we're not going to check it anymore. Because if we check it and we realize that, oh, well, in fact, we would have made more money, then we'll feel sad. And I don't want to feel sad. I need to feel motivated. It does kind of stink, though. It would have been really cool to have like a huge, large spike. At this stage, it's just very unlikely that we're going to be actually, buying turnips again. It's just too late in the game for that, and the risk is already a lot. We've got fluctuating twice in a row. We don't need that kind of stress. So I think going forward, money is just going to be a bit of a grind. I think this looks pretty good for our next staircase, so we'll put this here, and we'll go ahead and pay it off. And now we can go ahead, run around, and start to do our dailies. We'll plant our money tree, pick some mushrooms, manage our fully grown potato farm. I actually think one of these only had 2 potatoes in it, so I guess I didn't do a very good job watering it, but mostly fully grown potato farm. We'll try and water it properly this time. We'll get our potatoes sold, and they'll be worth 125,000 plus bells. We'll grab our beach DIY, which is gonna be the rose bed. I believe I already have this. Yep. We'll also find our crafting villager, which I hope is Eric, because he's literally the only one home right now. And he's making a fancy lily wreath. I do have lilies, but this doesn't really do much for me. I found out why everyone's not crafting. Keep practicing, y'all. They certainly need it. All right, let's try another cat island. We got the DIY right here on the beach. It's a log, extra long sofa. Well, in that case, while I'm here, I may as well cut down some trees. And I broke my axe, so I guess that's good on tree chopping. With all that out of the way, I can finally explain what it is we're doing today. I alluded to it last time, but today we are going to work on our secret beach. The reason I'm standing here on this path is because the secret beach is just back here. So we're actually going to terraform all around this cliff and create kind of a cool little entryway to the secret beach. We got most of this done early on with the island layout, but we did leave this section, and I did think that we'd probably leave it mostly natural. I would just extend the river a little bit. But with this new plan, it looks like I'm gonna have to kind of change some of my original ideas. You see, originally I was thinking of taking the waterfall from here and actually bringing it down and having it connect, a little river, having it connect to the waterfall over here. And then we'd probably do something separate with this waterfall. But even that run I just did from over there to here is a little bit daunting. I'm thinking now we're going to put a pond or something in this area, and we'll have a smaller river meet this waterfall over here, because that will completely free me up to do whatever I want to do with this spot over here. This new area we're making is going to serve a couple of purposes. It's not only going to be the entrance to our secret beach, but it is also going to be our one and only bamboo farm. I'm not exactly sure how it's all going to come together in the end, but we always figure it out. The first thing I'm going to do is dig a big trench over to where I believe the center of the secret beach is, or I don't know, center-ish to the secret beach. So yeah, pretty much something like this. I'm gonna dig out the middle, and I think what I'm gonna do is actually make this 4 tiles wide. It is a little bit silly to go from a path that's 3 tiles wide up to 4 tiles out of nowhere, and I think 3 tiles would even center on the secret beach even better. However, I'm gonna be using a staircase going down here, and that's only 2 wide. So I have to work with what I got. And now in the center of that aisle I've just created, I'm going to dig out another path. From here, we'll need to take this road and bring it on over. Now this path is going to go all the way up to right here and then stop where the staircase starts. And it's obviously going to narrow down to a path that's 2 tiles wide and brings you to the secret beach. I wanted to do it this way because I thought it would give me a lot of little areas around the path and the ramp and stuff to kind of decorate, and I thought it would look nice. We'll taper off these corners here. And we're already building a staircase today, but once we can, we're going to put a ramp here. I'm thinking of using that really cheap ramp, the dirt-looking one that looks really natural. I like that a lot and don't use it a whole lot at all, so we're going to use that. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this layout. You might be wondering also where the bamboo comes into play here. Well, I'm going to take the bamboo that we have and I'm going to start planting it on the cliffs. This is, of course, where I wish that I had grabbed even more of these bamboo trees while we were out and about, but we can plant more. Not only do I think these like spawn more bamboo on their own, but we've bought a few rounds of turnips now. I should have some bamboo shoots waiting for me in my mailbox. For the moment, though, I'm going to pick all of these up and we're just going to start from scratch. I think for this build, we should probably place these a bit more random. So far, I've tried to keep the symmetry on this island, at least, you know, somewhat. And we're at a point now where we got to start thinking about those areas that just need to be kind of random. And the reason this is important is because it allows me the space to kind of put whatever I want in this bamboo farm. We want room to like chop up these bamboo trees to get more bamboo, but I mean, ultimately this is about getting an island fully decorated and trying to get it 5 stars. And we're not going to get it 5 stars if we, you know, place down just a couple things and walk away from a spot. So I'm going to check my mailbox and see if I can dig out some bamboo shoots. I'm going to plant another one here, and then we're going to put a whole bunch on the other side. Daisy May did send me 3 bamboo shoots. I've bought more than 1 round of turnips, but I only got these 3 bamboo shoots. So that is a bit disappointing. I thought we'd have a lot more, but that's okay. I will plant a couple over here. We'll plant the last one over there, and I don't know. At some point, I guess I'll visit a few more Nook Miles ticket islands and see if we can get ourselves, like, some more. I swear this whole challenge is just me constantly out of items. All right, well, one problem at a time. Let's start looking at some of the crafting recipes we're going to use over here. One of the items I've definitely wanted to find a place for was the giant vine. And we finally have enough. We can craft almost 2 of these. This build definitely feels like the right place for it, so I went ahead and made one. I'm also going to make a couple of vine benches. Now, I thought about customizing these items, but I've decided against it, mostly because the bamboo is going to be green, and once we're back in spring, which is when I want to, like, finish the island, that's the season I want to finish the island in the spring, the grass will be green. And so these lush green vines will make a little more sense. So we're going to keep them green. I'm going to put one of the vine benches up here, just kind of nearby, making it look like this vine is kind of like, you know, starting to spread a little bit. And we're going to put one of them down here. I only have 2 right now because I ran out of vines. We can maybe solve that problem later. But I do love this idea that the vines are just kind of like sprouting off of the big vine. I wonder if I did that. Would that look better? Actually, you know what? I kind of like that. I think that having that different orientation there, kind of cool. So yeah, vines, bamboo, and then we could possibly put some mushroom items up there too once we get a few more. Oh yeah, this is gonna look awesome. I think I've underestimated how many of these bamboo items I'm intending on using because I've started crafting these bamboo partitions and I've realized that I want a lot more of them than I can afford at the moment. But the idea is that I'm going to actually line the sides of this path with these bamboo partitions. Just 6 of them in total is what I need. I have 3. So we'll get it figured out. But yeah, I'm moving them over right now. And yeah, I'm thinking we can fit another one right here. Kind of like that, except I don't like how it's kind of poking out beyond the cliff, so I need to shove them over one more space. I think that looks pretty cool. I like that a lot, and having another one here will kind of start to close off this wide path a little bit more. It might start to feel like it's 3 tiles wide again, which is neat. It'll kind of transition nicely. I made a bunch of other stuff too, so I have a deer scare, and I think I'm gonna put it like right here on the corner, just as a little welcome. You know, welcome to the area. It also kind of hides that harsh looking corner, which I like. With that in mind, I think another deer scare, which I do have, goes maybe up here somewhere. It's a good little knick-knack. It kind of fits in nicely. It'll be subtle up there too. As you kind of walk by, you may catch a glimpse of it. While I'm up here, I may as well start chopping away at the bamboo again. I did just say I was out, so let's start remedying that problem. I'm finally seeing my first balloon of the day. You would think working outside so long I would have found more, but I think they were just flying on different parts of the island. Let's see what this is. Probably just some supplies. Oh, it's the colored leaves flooring. Okay, yeah, I'll take that. We managed to craft 2 more partitions with the extra bamboo. And yeah, I'm really liking this as a concept for a walkway. This is cool. It also keeps people... Oh, well, I thought it kept people out of here. People are going to cause all kinds of problems up here if we don't do something about that. I'm thinking I'll just let it happen. But I did make a couple of bamboo stop blocks. I usually don't use these in random situations like this, but I was kind of thinking just having them poke out in a couple of random areas might look good. Like, hear me out. What if you just kind of put this random mix of items like that? I don't know. Something about that looks nice. Additionally, I made another couple of terrariums, which are one of my favorite DIY items. And yeah, I'm going to put these randomly as well in just a couple spots. So one here. And I have no idea how much bamboo we're going to get on this side or where it's going to go, but I'll put the other one over here. I'll even put a stone stool under it. I also thought a bird bath could look nice up here as well. And maybe just a nice present for some birds. But yeah. I think that's kind of cool, especially once there's a bamboo stalk right here and maybe a couple more little items here and there. I went and stole a coconut tree that I had on one of my beaches. And yeah, that's just, I think, a nice touch. When we're doing such like a tropical looking entrance, I thought maybe this time we don't put a bunch of garbage on the secret beach for red. We actually make it nice and welcoming. Another great item to scatter around would be the log stakes. So I've gone ahead and customized a few of these. And, well, they don't look great up here. Okay, I'll admit, when it comes to log stakes next to bamboo, I'm not really into it. But maybe we could put them kind of near other items like this. Kind of makes it look like there was something else here at one point before bamboo overtook the area. So, I don't know. We can do it that way. I mostly wanted them for the beach itself, though. I think having them kind of in this arrangement looks good. It looks like a whole bunch of little trees were here at one point and they got cut down. I threw my last set of them right there. Now, there's a lot more to do, but until we get more bamboo, I can't really make more bamboo items, but we do have some other things we should probably get to today. I've been talking for a bit about how we need these waterfalls to have like more water behind them, and I think we should worry about that now. So one of the things I was tempted to do was put a staircase right here, and that would make sure we had a little path connecting right here, which would be great, but we don't really need it. We're already, designating a lot of spots for staircases, and if I do that, I can't really put more water here, which is what I want. So I'm actually thinking this entire area can be dedicated to some kind of pond that meets this waterfall and then kind of fuels it in a hopefully natural looking way. So if that's what we're doing, I think it's time we kind of alter this area a little bit. So let me just go ahead and build it up. I think even something simple like this works for our purposes. We can put a little item here, and then we have plenty of room for water up top. The shape of this awkward little pond is kind of a big question mark to me. It's gonna look very interesting. I don't want any waterfalls here. So we need to just kind of have it wrap around to here. Oh, wait a minute. I'll stop everything for this. It is just a cool dining table. Nothing to see here. I think we'll start with just getting the waterfall itself connected to this little pond we've made. And I think that looks okay. And then we can come over here and maybe taper off these corners a little bit. And this right here could be the finished product that we're looking at. It's a bit odd, especially right up here. I think part of the reason for that is because of the way we did the cliff down here. I don't have a lot of room without making a waterfall to like expand this. So let's go ahead and fix that. Okay, yeah, that's a bit better. So we could probably put a couple shrubs or flowers up here. I'm thinking we could put like a bench right here. And I mean, why wait, right? We could just go ahead and start doing that now. We can get a little bench. Kind of makes this whole area feel like more like a park, place you want to hang out. I also made another signpost. I thought since we had all this space next to this new pond on the corner, it could go right there. And this is a good intersection for it. There are a lot of different areas you can go. We'll start to put down some shrubs. Suddenly, with a few shrubs and some flowers, which still need to bloom, and a couple of items, at least this one corner of the island is starting to feel complete. But the next thing we need to worry about is this waterfall here, which is a problem. Now, my temptation is to make just a big pond and put it right here and call it done. But as you can see, there's a lot of space behind me, and we need to decorate an entire island. So what I could do instead is take this, make it a river again, stretch it up, turn around over here, and then we put like a nice big pond over here. That would take up a lot of room, which is kind of what I needed to do, and it would look more natural, and then this waterfall would have, water to fall out of it. I'm starting to map this out a little bit, and what I need to keep in mind is that if we do this kind of diagonal river, it does allow me to take a little bridge and put it over that river. And the purpose of that would be because my house is right here. So the idea is a path would go up and then meet that bridge. And so I would have like quick access to this section of the island without having to go down and up a bunch of ramps. So my point in bringing that up in the first place is just to remind myself that I might need to redo this at some point if and when I decide to put a bridge here and it needs the room. And if at this point you're wondering, yes, I do regret making an island that I actually terraform. I'm not kidding. I think this challenge would have been easier if I had decided to make it a rule that terraforming was not allowed. But it's okay. I'm not really regretting it. I think what we're creating is really, really cool. It's just sometimes I think about it and I think, man, if I didn't have to use these tools and I had to work around what was given to me, that would have been really interesting and probably easier because now I'm rebuilding a river. And I mean, where I'm digging water tiles, I'm probably putting water back where it used to be, honestly. Not in this pattern, of course, but a good amount of river I got rid of over here just to make this work. But anyway, I'm going to make this pond like ridiculously big. Definitely not the size of a default Animal Crossing pond. So if a fish is somewhere in the middle of it, I'm going to have a problem with that. But I don't care because I'm not going to be fishing over here. I'm going to be just, decorating around it and then not thinking about it too hard. So I'm trying to make it look natural, and I think this is probably the shape that we're looking at. We just gotta kind of now dig it all out. And I'm almost done digging this out. And if you're wondering how I'm gonna make it look natural, essentially what I like to do is do like that rough outline like you saw with just the little blocks of water dug out. Take out the middle and then start to just smooth out the corners everywhere where there are sharp corners. We'll definitely keep modifying and tweaking from there, but yeah, that's the general idea. Okay, so all of this is dug out and we now officially have a pond that leads into a river that fuels a raging waterfall. All right, and now, as I said, I will just come through and just kind of chip away at these sharp corners. See, and then sometimes add pieces by accident. But we'll chip away at the sharp corners and we'll try and make this look somewhat natural. And you can kind of see while we're on this side, the work I've done over there. It does look, ignoring all these little jagged parts here, if you look across the river, it does look like it's pretty natural. It's kind of diagonal, but it's not all one straight diagonal line, if that makes sense. And if I just take these away, it should look, I'd say, pretty decent. Taking a look on the map, it definitely does look like a pond that kind of morphed into a waterfall. And it is strange, right, to have like perfectly straight canals and then natural looking water sources on top. But I like it. I don't know. This is just kind of how I do things sometimes. I like it. And there's plenty of room around this to put different decorations. But I would also think that this would be a good spot for maybe a couple more of those bamboo items. I don't know. Definitely some more shrubs, which I'm almost out of now. And yeah, just a lot of little touches over here for sure. Of course, I'm still left with this big empty open area as well. I'm not sure what'll go here, but definitely probably some items of some kind. Maybe some kind of like outdoor eating area. So we'll put some tables and chairs, and maybe we finally unlock cooking at some point. So we'll get some like different cooking recipes, like, and place down the food items. So it looks like just a big gathering outside the museum. Let's see what this is. It's a kitchen stove. I can't use this, but that's, I'm always looking for a sign, right? And that does feel like a sign. Maybe it's time to unlock cooking soon. Will we do so in the next episode? I don't know. If it's done, it's right here, so you can just click and find out.